All right, well, thank you so much, Christine. And Fred and Calvin, we're super excited to be here. I'm trying to grow the beard. I wanted it to be as long as Fred and Calvin's, but I didn't have enough time. So hopefully next time I'll be prepped. But yeah, super excited to be here. Thank you for taking the time. I hope you all had a good lunch and that you're well fed. Now I'm going to feed you some more information and knowledge centered around a day in the life of EDA. Again, I want to thank our guests that are speaking at the roundtable as well. And we're excited to share with all of you their experience with EDA. And so why I work for Phocas Software. So why is a Phocas Software person talking about EDA? Well, because we're the power behind EDA. We, as Fred has touched on earlier, but Phocas Software powers EDA. We're partnered with Epicor. We're their top third-party product, and we have a 97% customer retention that we're really proud of, as you're going to see here in the presentation, just showing you how easy it is to use. And then we'll hear from the customers how they've enjoyed using it so far. So let's dive right in. Right.
Jordan, before you get too far, I sent you over a link. It was just kind of funny that just before the session today, I get an email from Phocas Software about the PUG meetings coming up in November and December for the rest of this year, which is the Phocas user group. They have their own user group which people can attend for free education.
Oh, right on, right on. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so yeah, just popping in. I'm just going to give you all a quick overview of EDA, how it works, and then we're going to enter into our roundtable. I won't take long with this introduction, as it's just giving you the basics, so you have some context as to what we're talking about. And then yeah, we'll meet with Anne, Pete, Tammy, and Rick. Again, thank you. We're super excited. If you have questions throughout, again, use that chat box. If you are interested in contacting me or hearing more about EDA Phocas, feel free to let Fred and Calvin know, and they will send you over information as well, and we'll be able to get in contact with you. So let's move, and if we have time at the end of our discussion, we'll definitely answer as many of those questions as possible. So what is EDA? Well, at its core, it's a BI solution. And there's a ton of BI solutions out there. I'm sure a lot of you are operating on BI solutions already, or you've had one in the past, or you've heard about them. But what makes EDA different? Well, something that we firmly believe over at Phocas, and I know we do at Epicor as well, and just in bringing you this product, is we believe in it, and we believe that it is going to empower your customers to make data-based decisions. That's what we're all about, is we want people to not be intimidated by data. We want them to be able to access it, understand it, and be able to use it effectively to make decisions for their business. And how are some of the ways that we do that? Well, it's an out-of-the-box solution. So when you get EDA implemented, you've gone through the whole training implementation process. When it's ready and you open it, right, you've already got all of these dashboards and reports with your data and information right there waiting for you, so you can open it and dive in right away, rather than just being given an empty box and saying, good luck sorting through that, but thanks for buying. That's not how we work. We're with you, and we want you to be empowered and be able to dig in right away. Tailored to your industry, we're focused on manufacturing, distribution, retail. We're super customizable too. You can customize it to your liking, tailor it to how you want it to look, and we're very user friendly as well. So you're able to share access to as many users that you want within your company. They can create dashboards, they can share reports as well, and dive into the data and find areas where maybe they're falling behind or where there's opportunities to increase sales. And we're future focused in the sense that technology is always evolving, and we have to evolve along right away with it. So what we try and do is we're always updating our software, updating our products, and we have a new product launching, which I'm going to touch on later on, that we're really excited about. So how does it work? Well, we take all the data from your ERP or CRM or whatever the data sources you need data extracted from, and we consolidate it into one source view. And then you're able to, look through those customized reports and dashboards. It's got easy integration, and it's mobile as well, so you're able to access it at any point. That's super important that everyone's able to dive in and share and collaborate and drill down at a touch of a button. So phone, computer, you're able to dig in. And let's get that access across the board, right? We've got, whether it's in sales, inventory, finance, you're able to dig in anywhere and be able to access that information and share it within your company. So this is kind of just an overview of what the grid looks like, right? This is where you can analyze that information, follow your train of thought, and slice and dice and drill down as far into your company and gain insight. That's one thing I know our customers really love, is that feature of being able to dive deep, and you can't break it, so you don't have to worry about messing something up. It's there, and it's not going to fall apart on you. And then the other fact is the visualization aspect. We've got these beautiful dashboards you can customize, you can share, you can set it up so when you open up the system, this is the first thing you see, and you're able to get an overview of what's happening in your company, what's happening in your business, or how you're performing as well. And you're able to then dive in and focus on the certain aspects and analyze that information as well. And then we've also got the database designer, which you're able to customize and tailor to your liking. It's your data, and it's your information to analyze and dig through. So we want you to be able to see it how you want to see it. So that's a quick overview. These are some of this is our product portfolio, right? Some of the data sources we work with, integrate with, E10, Prop 21, all those that you're familiar with, I'm sure a lot of you use. And then, like I said, we've got all across, from sales to marketing, all these dashboards and alerts and KPIs that we're able to have ready for you out of the box after implementation. And some of our products that we're really excited about, we've got financial statements. This has been a huge success. People are really loving digging into financial statements that launched earlier in the year. And then we've got budget and forecasting, which is our new product, which get people stoked on budgeting. That's going to be coming up at the beginning for Epicor at the beginning of next month, and then that's going to be a soft launch, and we'll have it go live everywhere in January. So if you have any questions or want more information about any of that, or want to see demos, feel free to contact me. My information's right there. Feel free to jot it down, and just answer some more questions. So feel free to reach out at any point. But that is a quick overview, quick introduction. I know I threw a lot at you, but I just wanted you to have a basic understanding of what EDA is and what we're going to be talking about. So now let's transition over to our roundtable. Again, we've got these amazing panelists are going to be talking and sharing their experience. Rick Bird is actually not a customer, but a consultant that refers customers and his clients to EDA often. So we're going to hear from him, and that's a good insight to hear about. So without further ado, let's hop over and start hearing from them. All right. Do we want to just do a quick introduction, say who you are, where you work, and also when you heard about EDA and when you, how long you've been an EDA user? Anne, you want to start off, just sharing?
Hi, my name is Ann Watson, and I am a business analyst at Euclid Systems in Virginia. And our company uses Epicor to make contact lenses, and we're mostly a make-to-order shop. So, and this is I've been there for less than a year, but this is my second Epicor job. And we implemented EDA, I think in May, June timeframe. So we're going on about 6 months of using EDA. And we have 35 users, and I'd say 10 of them are power users.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Ann. And we want to hop over to Pete. Just give a quick hello.
Sure. Thanks, Jordan. My name is Pete Racz. I work at Arizona Tile, Director of Inventory and Process Management. Basically, we started on probably at the beginning of the year, but we had a little bit of a hiccup in the transition just because we didn't have the time to put into it. But got up and running real fast and very eager to keep moving forward. We have approximately 50 or so users currently, and we'll probably be adding quite a bit more as we progress.
Awesome. Thanks, Pete. Tammy.
Hi, I am Tammy Helling, software administrator from Federal Foam Technologies. We've had the EDA product since about June, July. Got it installed and been playing around mainly with the sales order, sales module, or databases with that. Our company we're 4 different companies, and our main product is we do a lot of foam insulation for some of the bigger like Caterpillar, CNH, so foam products, but we also make a lot of things like foam from My Pillow and Joanne Fabrics craft foam. And it's my introduction.
Thank you, Tammy. And Rick, you want to say hello?
Hi, I'm Rick. The first time I saw EDA was actually at Insights 2018. And what was interesting about that is when they're doing the announcement, I was like, well, what's behind this? I thought it was pretty fast for Epicor to develop something. And that's when I discovered his Phocas behind the scenes. And what's interesting is a couple of years before that, I was doing some BI research and Phocas was at the top of my list. So I was pretty excited to see Phocas being integrated into Epicor.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that quick intro. Well, let's go through just some questions, just open up the discussion. And I'm going to start with you. Now, I have 2 questions for you. So what was life like before EDA, and what is life like now after implementing it?
Hi. Yeah. So basically before EDA, we would do the typical, somebody would want to report, you write a BAQ and then get it on the menu, which is a whole, issue with promoting software from our development environment to, quality up to production. Or the users would just basically go into the trackers and go right click on one of the grids and download the data. So those were kind of what would happen. So the finance group would pretty much do that for a number of our customers who would want the details behind the invoices and stuff. For example, they would go in at the end of every month and they'd spend a few hours daily running, custom extracts and sending the data off. So now we can pull that through EDA and, they can navigate through an EDA grid or EDA report and then pull information up, and they can write from that report, they can go and email it off. So they really love that. And that was one of the biggest things I think that they were really excited about, is getting that kind of detail. We have a number of tools. We have Crystal Reports, Excel Connect, just a number of different type of reports, SSR, REFS reports. So the fact that you can slice and dice this data really has made a big difference for the people who need the details. As far as executive dashboards, this makes it really easy to create an executive dashboard. Before, you would have people who would slice and dice that data and throw it into different tools like PowerPoint for presentations in their meetings. And now we have that data in dashboards that can just be opened and used, and that makes it a lot easier.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. And I know you've got teams, in China, Canada, and the US, right? So how's that been experienced for, all those users across the globe? Just seeing a lot of good, hearing a lot of good things, good feedback from them.
Yeah, we have 2 companies. We have a US company and a China company. And so we rolled it out to both. And so one of my main users was the operations manager in China. And so he was one of the first people. He had been asking for data since I had started with less than a year. But so we knew this was coming, so I would monthly run him query extracts to give him what he needed. And so he was the first person I got up and running and created him his own China operations and planning dashboard. And I think I had maybe two meetings with him, an hour long, where we went through and I identified what he needed, and then we went through training on how to create a dashboard and how to create charts and all the different type of charts. And on our 3rd meeting, he had a completed, rolled out dashboard, which was amazing. And then he brought it to the executive team, and they were just blown away by how quickly and easily he created this.
Right.
And then some of the other operations managers wanted to adopt his format, and his has been kind of like the format that we've been using as an example when we roll out different types of graphs and charts and stuff. So that's been really good. Very positive experience.
Oh, we're really glad to hear that. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I'll give you a break on the questions, and we'll hop over to Pete. Now, Pete, I know that you were on another software before, a BI solution before EDA, correct?
Correct. Yes, we were on EBA, another Epicor product. We had that for a number of years, and it did fairly well for us through the years, but it was getting a little clunky, and they kind of put it to pasture, so to speak, and so it was time for us to move ahead and into some new technology, and that's why we decided on EDA. Again, I saw EDA first at Insights, and it's been on my radar for a while, and it finally took hold, and we were able to get a good demo of it, and seemed like a good fit for us.
Yeah. Now how was that like transition from EBA over to EDA in regards to implementation and training? You said something about training. Like, how was that whole process?
Yeah. Honestly, because the technology was fairly old, pretty old, our user base had quite a tough time utilizing EBA.
Mm-hmm.
So when we switched over to EDA and we created some dashboards and things of that nature, the user base really took hold to this and really got into it, understood how it worked right from the get-go. So the training was relatively simple. It wasn't a head scratcher for a lot of people. They understood right away how it worked and how it was able to, how they were able to dive into the data, get to what they wanted. Even if they want just the cursory look at the dashboards, that's great. But a lot of them were trying to get down into the transactional level stuff, and they were able to do that without much effort. So I think that has really done a lot for us in terms of how quickly we were able to put this into play.
Right. Oh no, that's awesome. And so how many different departments do you have running EDA?
Oh, well, honestly, it started off more as an executive dashboard, but we're now into sales. We have regional managers, sales operations, inventory control. We have order desk personnel that use it on a daily basis to check orders, to check number of open orders, where they stand on a daily basis. So it's really run the gamut in terms of our organization of who's using it. And it's growing. Obviously there's a lot of folks that haven't quite got into it yet, but they are slowly but surely making the turn, and they're really starting to like it. So yeah, it's really hit pretty much across all of our our entire organization.
No, that's awesome. Now, do you have like can you share an example of how you've maybe been able to use it in an innovative way, or like how much time has it saved you since what you were doing before? Any examples?
Sure. We, as with most companies, we had a few different BI solutions. We were using Power BI for a while, and just kind of in an ad hoc format where we would put together quick snapshots of information and things like that for our executive team. What's nice about EDA is, we can develop those, and it's real easy to do that. But really, from a time-saving perspective, the executives can get in there and do exactly what they need to do relatively easy. They don't need to come to me or to an IT person to say, hey, can you create this for me? They're actually creating them themselves, getting in there, understanding how it works. So talk about time saving, that's huge. I mean, that was, it doesn't take away from other departments, and, trying to get people to, have to sit with somebody and train them and that whole bit, that's a big time saver for us. We also use it, it's basically replaced all of our ad hoc reporting. We can basically do everything we need to right from there. We've created enough of these streams and the databases to where users have exactly what they need at their fingertips, and it's really easy for them to use. And again, they don't have to go anywhere to try to get the information from another department or another person. It's out there and available to them, and it's relatively easy to use. So it's a great effort on our part to get this up and running.
Oh no, yeah. Well, we're super glad to hear that, obviously. And Pete, we know that you've been very outspoken, and you're your joy of EDA. So thank you. Appreciate that. And
of course, no problem.
Yeah. And well, Tammy, a few questions for you. Now you're newer to EDA, correct? You came in at the beginning of June or end of May, and you've got 4 companies that you operate out of. How has EDA been able to track all that data, across the board? Like, how's the experience been for you since you've taken it on?
Yeah, so we have 4 companies and we share customers across companies quite a bit. And how fast it is to just call up that dashboard and see all 4 companies, and then you can put the focus on a specific customer and then drill down in to get that customer detail, and then be able to drill down and get the detail all the way down to what created those numbers. It's so fast. Everybody loves it because it's so fast. We've had a lot of the reports. When you go through all the invoice data with a report, it just takes quite a long time, and then you don't have that tool to just be able to slice and dice and move around right on that same screen. So the fact of looking, we've mainly been looking with the sales and the invoice history, and we love that. It's so fast.
I know you were saying that you really enjoyed just being able to drill down, like having that ability to really go deep into your company and understanding the numbers and where it comes from. So
yeah, it's very nice. And right now we're refreshing it every night. So at this point, 12 hours refresh or 24-hour refresh is fine. But we could take any database that we wanted. If we wanted to do it 4 times a day, we could do it. But at this point, looking at the sales history, it's fine with that. When we get into some of the production data, our plan is we're at 1.200 or 10.200 right now. We're moving to 700. We're going to analyze whether EDD or EDA is the better tool. So if we're looking at daily stuff, we may keep it in EDD, but otherwise most of our key indicators will come over into EDA, and we'll develop a lot more there.
Right, and then within EDA, all the sites, they can be different because you can customize what you need. Tam, can you speak to how you customize it down to the order level, like how you adjusted your extracts to fit the needs of your teams?
What we're doing is we created another database. We like seeing all of the history, the sales history, but a lot of times we need to filter out the tooling sales. So we're also an engineering company, so we want those tooling sales out. So there's multiple ways you can do it, and we've kind of been playing around, but we decided just to create 2 different databases and have the one that is filtering the tooling, and then the other one is we do sell some of our parts where I guess they're distribution parts. They come in and we ship them out right away, so there's no production, and we also filter those out of that database. And then then we let everybody go into either one. It depends what data they want to look at. So they look pretty much the same, but they already have those filters in there for them. And that's minor. That was really a minor change.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tammy. Appreciate that. And lastly, Rick, popping over to you. That's my understanding, Rick, that you're a consultant. You've recommended EDA numerous times for various customers. How has that been as far as seeing customer satisfaction, or you just share a little bit about that experience with referring EDA? Oh, I think you're muted. Oh. No, I'm not hearing you. Can anybody else hear him?
No, I can't hear him, but he's not muted.
That's odd. He was good earlier. He had the best audio out of all of us. Huh.
Now he's muted.
Now we got him muted.
No, I think he muted himself. I'm like,
Well, I know that Rick and I had spoken, just for those of you listening. That was something he was really happy to see the focus behind EDA, and he was really impressed with just how the whole system worked, and has referred many of his clients to use EDA as well, and always wants to learn more about the features as well. I wish you could hear from him more. He had some great insights on that level and that aspect, but hopefully we can get his audio up and running before our time comes to an end. But
hold on one second, Jordan. Rick, if you can hear me, I'm also going to send this as a message to you. If you can call in to the meeting, the dial-in, we'll go ahead and unmute you. Just let me know when you pop in if it tells you what caller number you are.
Do you want to go ahead and handle some questions there, Jordan? There's a couple that popped up.
yeah, let's take a look here.
We have one from Scott Williamson. How does your BI compare to analogics?
How does our BI compare to analogics? Well, I know that with ours is the sense that our BI, you're able to access information, right away upon implementation. And I know with analogics, that's not something that they really offer with that out of the box solution. No, that's something that really sets us apart with a lot of other industries, and also with just our solution side, the support team. Just having an incredible sports team on your side helping you out is something that is very unique, if that answers your question.
Yep, and Jordan, like I mentioned earlier, on November 19th, they're going to have a Phocas user group meeting. That's going to be an online training session going over Budget Builder. And then on December 17th, you guys have another PUG meeting coming out with more sessions.
Yes, and we would love to see as many of you there as possible. We're really excited about it. Any other questions? One question I wanted to, before we keep going with the chat questions, just.
Oh my.
One of your features, one of the features of EDA that you've like, so talking to this whole crowd, what's one of your favorite takeaways with EDA in the sense of efficiency, or just something that really sold you on it when you heard about it or got the training? What made you buy in? Anyone that wants to take that.
Well, I'll take it. The ease of use, honestly, was the most important thing for us, and really what sold us, and the ease of being able to create databases, without much training and without a lot of, back end knowledge of things. As long as you have a little bit of SQL understanding, you can easily get into the streams and do the things that you want. But the database designer itself is great, and it just really, that was one of the main things for me. It was, being able to create the databases and get them up and running in a matter of minutes. So that's one of the big takeaways for me.
Anne, do you want to chime in there? I'm not sure if we've got Rick back yet, but Anne,
Okay.
you want to?
Yeah, so I'd have to say something very similar. I think that this has been the easiest software rollout that I have done, and I've done a lot. It was just so easy being able to, once we went through the training, obviously, with Brenna from Phocas. She was great. And then basically every single user I had was really kind of a customized training one-on-one, where I would meet with them, and then we'd go through what their requirements were, what they wanted. We'd go into the existing delivered database options that were given when we set it up, and we'd see if that worked. And if it didn't work, we'd say, okay, well, we're going to have to go create another data source, which was so easy to do. I mean, it was like, and so we could easily get a solution up and running and published like within an hour or two. I mean, it was amazing how easy it was to set this up and get it running and have our end users creating their own dashboard widgets, you know, with their graphics. And, you know, after talking to each one of my users, they all want the same thing. It's amazing. Some of them just want it sliced and diced different. Like, for example, they want to see their charts year over year, and that's an easily built-in function where it compares this year to last year for the same periods. They want to see trend lines, they can do that. They want to see pie charts that break out by territories or by product line or whatever it is, or, you know, whatever that is, you know, it's pretty easy to pull it together, and that was really cool. And I think that the fact that the users saw how easy it was to create this stuff and get it running and giving them a, you know, a solution that worked, you know, people are so used to working with IT, and to get something to you at an end product is a long time, you know. And so when they saw how easy it was, I think they really all adopted it pretty quick. I missed what you said last. You faded out.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay.
All of a sudden the audio cut out on you, so
It was cutting out on you.
Going. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, so I'm done. I don't know if you missed what I said.
Oh no, you're good. Thank you.
We heard you.
Very
Okay.
informative. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
And Tammy, how about you with one of your favorite features that really led you to go with EDA?
Yeah, definitely. I love the drill down, being able to prove out the data that's at that top level. And I'd have to say for our company, we're starting to get into it. We're getting more people, and the big thing that we need to do is just get into that database and then move around and really start to understand what we're seeing. Because when we're going in right now, we're seeing all companies in that invoice and that sales area. And it's a little confusing when you first do it, but once you figure out how the levels work and how you can see the data from all 4 companies and then that summary, then you start to drill into different companies. It's just amazing that you can really do anything you want to go see. So just getting the users familiar with that, and then once they get familiar with that, I really think it is, you know, it's a great tool. You really can slice and dice things, and you can have something that you're looking at quantity, and then you just go up and select a different drop down, and all of a sudden you're seeing the dollar amount, or you can put them two together. It's just amazing how you can do that so easy once that database is created, right? And then if something is missing, you can add it, but it takes a little more technical to do it, but it's not hard.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. So as far, and this is for everybody, for implementation process, right, and the timing, how that's been, how the validation process was. Can you speak to, any of you want to speak to that? How that timing was, how the experience was with implementation? Pete, you want to start off?
Yeah, I'll chime in. Yeah, the implementation was really a breeze, honestly. You know, it took no time at all for, you know, just a few discussions with Epicor and Phocas, and we were up and running in no time. Honestly, it was a pretty easy transition to get us up running and going, and you know, understood what the data was looking like, and it, you know, it was quite pleasant, really. So you know, from my perspective, everything was went along really well, very smooth, and no issues really to speak of. So it was great.
Well, we love hearing that, right? The less issues we can have, the better. That's great. Anyone else want to share their experience with implementation, or I can always ask another question.
Just Tammy, ours went very straightforward. It was one day, get together, talk about it, give them our configuration, and they worked on it. And then we kind of met again. They worked a couple more hours on it, and our data was there. It was running overnight, and we just started reviewing the data. So once the syncing started working, it was, I don't think that was more than 4 hours work on Phocas' side to get it up and running.
And it didn't give you guys a lot of headache, right? As far as, you know, them kind of taking the reins on it and only just asking you to confirm some of that sync information.
Yep.
So that's nice as a customer not having to have a lot of headache in the implementation process. That's something we're happy about. Users, how have you all seen?
I think you cut out.
Oh yeah, I might have. As far as restrictions and how to set up a variety of users, how have you seen that play out? Just setting up restrictions and or giving access to.
I can answer that if you want. So
Yes,
we have
please.
35. We have 35 users, and so what I found the easiest was to do is I'd have a finance user, and once I got that person set up as you know, with what I thought the finance people needed, I just clone that person. So everybody in finance has the same database. You know, they have access to the same data sets and stuff like that, which made it really easy. You know, and then the same thing when it came to a production operations person. I made that person set what they need, the databases they need, and I cloned that one, and the same with sales. So once I figured out that when I first started, I didn't know that that was going to be the way to go. So I would recommend people do that. Just set up a generic, you know, make sure you have a generic user that you think is going to be a good user for each of your departments. And you know, you're going to have sales, you're going to have finance, you're going to have manufacturing, you know, whatever. There's going to be different manufacturing. So that's all.
Perfect. No, that's great. Thank you. That's good insight.
Yep.
And then
this is Tammy. My feedback on that, what we did is we've got a group that are. Sorry, we got a group that we kind of have our key users. So right now we opened all the database up to the people that are going through and kind of analyzing the data, and then we'll take her recommendation and do the grouping. Sounds like a good plan.
Awesome. Implementation process. We always hear good things about that, and we want it to be a smooth transition for our. I'm having some audio issues. I apologize. Before I ask another question, Rick, I wanted to see, are you good now? Can you be heard?
I don't know. Can I? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Rick.
We can hear you. You're there.
Jordan looks lost. I'm not sure he can hear me.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Rick, we're so glad you're here. We've got you in now. I wanted to ask you, what's you want to share with everybody what your experience has been with referring to clients and just how it's been for them?
Well, the one thing I know is that I had a client that one time they tried to do the Epicor data analytics back when that was around, or the Epicor business analytics, or whichever it was. They tried to do an implementation of that, and they ended up giving up on that. And then once this came out, they did this, and much like what everyone else is saying, is way easier, went much faster. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way that Epicor kind of sets up the data structures and things, so it's ready to actually start syncing. So you can actually get going pretty quick instead of having to spend weeks or sometimes even a month or more trying to get your business structure and stuff in there so that you can actually get useful information for your business.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, no, and we're really happy to hear that. I'm having a little bit of audio issues on my end, I guess, but thank you. I think that's a good taste into all of it. Were there any other questions, perhaps that Fred or Calvin or Christine that we have in the?
Yes, we have a few up here. One thing I want to follow up on the security, is that specific to users or should that be groups? Can you also do group level security?
Oh, sorry. Could you repeat the question? Oh,
So for restricting users to specific areas, is that user by user or can you do it as groups of users?
We see your mouth moving, Jordan, but there's no audio.
Here we go.
There you are.
You can do it. I believe it's.
I want to say you can do both groups and individuals.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
We've implemented both ways.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you for chiming in.
What are the requirements
yes.
for EDA? What version of Epicor, for example, do you have to have?
My audio.
Hey, Rick, is that something that maybe you have familiarity with? You could help us out?
I'm pretty sure it was
It's 10.1 and higher.
10.1? Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I want to bring
Yep.
in the fact that you can actually put other data sets in. For example, we've brought in machine data from our production machines, and it's just a query. We just had to set up a query string to go to that database.
Yeah, that's one thing I've seen in demos is you can pull in, you're not limited to just your Epicor data. You can have your Epicor data related to other information like sales logics or, like you said, your machine data. It can all be tied together so that you can find what you're looking for. We have a question. Can EDA widgets be added to UIs like EDD widgets? And I think because it's a web interface.
No, I don't believe so.
They
Okay.
are separate.
Two different systems. Yeah.
Okay. What is the biggest difference in capabilities between XL Connect and EDA? Between XL Connect and EDA.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So the difference between XL Connect and EDA.
I can answer that.
Tammy can answer that. Yeah. Because you're still using Excel, right?
I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback. XL Connect is within Excel, so you open up an Excel spreadsheet and you see Excel data, and EDA is on a web page. It's there. You can get the same data, but there's two different formats.
And I know we're almost at our time. If there are, and I know we have a raffle to do as well. So if there's other questions, I know that Fred and Calvin, they will get all that information over to us, and feel free to reach out to us, and they'll share this deck that I have, the PowerPoint deck, and we'll get that over to you as well. And again, I'll go back really quick to this is my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me at any point.
And just because we can, Christine Martin, I'm going to have Jordan follow up with you on your question about budgeting. Oh, come on. I expected Jordan to react to that one. I don't think he heard it. Yes, you guys do have a budgeting inside the EDD software. What have you got on that, Jordan?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So you're asking as far as the budget and forecasting?
Actually, Christine Martin's asking.
Oh, Christine Martin. Nice. She's awesome. She's just asking about when it's rolling out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to be rolling out for Epicor side. That's going to be coming out at the beginning of December, so really soon. So we'd be happy to set up demonstrations. We don't have all the bugs completely fine-tuned, but we're really close, and would love to be able to show you all that. It's really it's gonna be really exciting. So yeah, we want to showcase it. And there are webinars coming the first week of December too. So big deal, big deal.
Okay, Jordan, I believe you are giving, sorry, what is the item you're raffling here?
We've got a raffle.
We've got a raffle. I will pick out the winner if you'll tell people what they're going to win.
They're going to be winning a $100 gift card to Omaha Steakhouse.
Awesome. And the winner is Sang Nguyen. Sang does not appear to be online. Okay, so we go to the next one down. Austin Skrepik from Rosenboom. Austin, are you still on? Austin is still on.
Nice. Austin
gets to be the winner, so I will pass over his email information to you so you can get him that gift certificate, and we'll be good.
And I'll send over this deck so that you can send it out to everybody. And again, thank you to all our panelists that showed up and spoke on behalf of EDA. We really appreciate it, and we're really thankful to you. So, and thanks for this opportunity, Fred, Calvin, and Christine.
Yeah, and Jordan, like the other ones, we'll go ahead and send you a copy of all the chat. And we'll include
Perfect.
everybody that had a question on the same thread so that you can follow up with them.
Excellent. Appreciate it. Thank you.